Hi, I am Victor Paredes and I want to show you how to use the new Copy Previous Key option, which is included on Anime Studio 11.2. So normally when you have a project, this option here is set to smooth, and this means that every time I create a keyframe, this keyframe will be smooth, so the interpolation of the animation will be smooth. Okay, now if I change this option, for example to elastic, every time I create a new keyframe, that keyframe will be or will have the elastic interpolation. So now if I animate this, let's see, you can see I have elastic interpolation, so all the parts of the body are bouncing. Okay, so you can set up different kind of interpolation, and now if you set this to a step, and I will freeze this pose to show you, every time I create a new keyframe, that keyframe will be a step, and the step option means there will be no interpolation. So you have the character changing the pose from one frame to another. You see? So you have several options here, and the idea is you need to be changing depending what part of the body or what style you want to animate. But in Anime Studio 11.2 there is a new option which is called Copy Previous Key. Okay, so I will select this option, I will erase this, and let's suppose I rotate the head. So I rotate the head here. Okay, so I have a keyframe here. By default, the keyframes are set up as smooth, but if I right click here in the keyframe of the selected bone, so I right click the keyframe in the red channel, I can change this to elastic again. So now I have some options here, I will just leave them, and now if I have Copy Previous Key, every time I rotate this bone, the software will look for the last or for the previous key and will copy the properties of this previous key. So if I rotate the head here and then here, you can see the elastic property is being repeated on all the movements. So now the interpolation is not depending about all these options, it is depending of the previous keyframe. So the good thing about this, I will erase these keyframes again, is that, for example, I can have all my body movement in smooth, but if I create keyframes for the pupils, for example, I will select the two bones of the pupils and I will select the keyframe of that two bones and I will set them as elastic again. Okay, so I can move the body, so I will move the body here, and you can see how I have a normal interpolation for the body. But now I will freeze this pose, and if I move the pupils will have the elastic interpolation. So every time I move the pupils, they will have that elastic interpolation. So I can animate every part of the body and all will be set up the way I want. So a good use for this is, for example, this character. This character is from Anime Studio 9, I think, and here I have a bone which controls the mouth. So you can see when I rotate this, the mouth is changing. So this is a simple smart bone which is controlling a switch layer. which contains all the different mouths. Okay, but now if I want to animate this mouth, for example, I want to start in frame 1 with the mouth closed, and then I want the character happy, and then I want this O, and then the mouth closed again. If I check this animation, you can see the bone has interpolation, so I am moving, or I have all the mouth between this movement. So to get the happy mouth, I need to go over all the other mouth. So this makes very hard to animate the mouth, because I am having interpolations all the time, and I don't want interpolations for this case. So what I will do is I will erase all these keyframes, and I will select the keyframe of the mouth bone, and I will set this to a step. Okay, so I set this to a step. So now every time I rotate the mouth, for example to happy, and then to O, and then to close, I won't have interpolation. So the mouth will be showing exactly the switch layer content I want to show. Okay, and the good part is it works only for the mouth, because the rest of the body will continue moving with a smooth movement. So I can just animate the body and the mouth the way I want. So I don't need to be switching the default here, or I don't need to be selecting and changing manually the keyframes, because the software already knows that this mouth will be a step, and the rest of the body will be smooth. So you can have several different kind of keyframes. So again, I can select the two bones for the pupils, and I will create a translation keyframe for both. So I can select this keyframe here, and I will set this to elastic again. So now every time I move the pupils, they will be elastic. So you can see how this can be useful. So you have a smooth for the entire body, a step for the mouth, and elastic for the eyes, and you don't need to worry about that, because you just animate them and the software will take care of that. So finally, I want to show you another example, and I want to draw some very simple fly here. So let's suppose this is a fly. Okay, so here is it. Nothing too fancy, but I can paint this. So I have my fly and the rest of the body. Okay, so I have this great character, and I will make it a little smaller. Okay, so I have this character, and I will create a keyframe on frame 1. So I will create a keyframe here, and maybe another keyframe here. Okay, so I have this normal movement. Okay, but I will set the first keyframe to Bezier. So I select this, and now I will go to the motion graph, double click in the layer translation channel, so I can see the handles here. So I will move a little my character here, and I will modify the handles. So let's suppose my character makes something like this. and then something like that. Okay, so I am modifying the handles. So I have this movement. You see, instead of having a smooth movement, I have a very crazy movement. Okay, so now once I have that, I will delete these keyframes because I am actually interested on this one. So I will delete this, and now I will start animating this character. So I will move it here and here, here, here. So you can see how the software is automatically applying the same handles to all the keyframes. So if I hit play, I have a very crazy movement, and it is similar to a fly. So of course, if you move the handles in a different way, you will have a better or worse movement. But you can see how you can create different kind of movement by using this new copy previous keyframe option. So finally, I want to show you that, for example, if I have this arm here and I select the bones and the keyframe for this bone, I can set a stagger. I can add some hold to these keyframes. Maybe I can add an interval, and I can add a color and a different interpolation. So now every time I create keyframes for this arm, all that properties will be copied on the new keyframes. So I know this is nothing too fancy, but you can see you can copy several options. Every option in this window will be copied on every keyframe. So now I have a very weird arm, and the rest of the body is smooth, and the mouth has step, and everything else works nicely. Okay, so I have this early animation, but that's the idea. So I hope you like this new feature, and I think it makes easier the animation process because you don't have to worry about the interpolations. I mean, you worry at the beginning and then you just animate. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I hope you enjoy the new feature, and thank you for watching. Bye.